Yes,
Yeah,
today.
the program Justice for All. Yes.
Today is
Guyan.
Saturday, July 29th, and we are right here, Justice for All program, Voice of the People. We're here with the leader of Justice for All Party, Mr. C.N. Sharma, Mr. Mark Muirhead from Jamaica. How are you doing, Mark?
Good,
Always
sir.
good to see you. And of course, Gino Rackman.
I've got a few other guests out
We've
here.
got some guests that will soon be here. Malcolm. Jalayan.
Yeah.
And the sister-in will soon be here.
Yes, okay, yes.
Yeah, it's the weekend before emancipation, first of all.
Okay, let me
and you don't know everybody needs to be free.
Yeah.
But those captives on the run, we need to get them because those guys are dangerous.
By all means.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've been going home to mama for food. So go and stick at mama's house and you'll get them.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is that we just had the Diaspora Conference,
Yes.
the Diaspora Engagement Conference hosted by the University of Guyana, and a lot of people have come home. We're going to talk about migrants and their plight.
Yeah.
We've been hearing that the shooting of Charles Peters in Melanie Dapishana mistaken for an escapee, and he died. That's bad. Okay. Also, we're going to talk about several things, in fact.
Raman, your opening remarks. Opening remarks.
I think we need to expand some of those things he raised,
Yes.
particularly on the question of law and order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, that has been my topic. Law and order. If we don't restore law and order in this country, we're going to have the kind of chaos that we have experienced over the last couple of months, and particularly the burning down of your prison, your main prison.
Yes.
That is a very important thing. Some people say that we shouldn't have another investigation in relation to what has happened because they felt that Ram Tatan, the Minister of Public Security, had enough information in the first inquiry, could have acted on those recommendations, clear recommendations that were made, and he didn't act on them. And if he did, then we would not have this kind of riot in the place. I mean, the details of that is mind-boggling, that people were having phones, mobile phones and all kinds of other things as if they were having a shop in there.
Okay.
Dangerous.
But it's a supermarket. The prison was a
when
supermarket.
you ask yourself the question, Mr. Sharma, when you ask yourself the question, if we cannot contain dangerous criminals in our jails, one last thing, which is important.
All things important.
We need, this particular issue we're talking about security, because it has to do with law and order, and has to do with a wider issue of the judicial system and the legal system that we have inherited from the PPP. You can't only blame the PPP for this. It went back further. After colonial times, we did not create the kind of legal system to bring about...
Pastor Mark, what is summary view this morning?
Justice should never sleep.
Yes.
Ongoing investigations are necessary for self-evaluation for what law and order should do. Protect the sanctity of life for every citizen in this country. So if there are criminals on the loose, and if you know about it, turn them in. I want to say happy 25th anniversary.
Thank you.
I saw the pictures online of the celebration you had. And while that was going on, this program is now being seen in the capital of Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, through Hometime Cablevision, our channel. Friends Forever TV is on, and so they get to see Mr. Rahman. They get to see what Leon is wearing every week, and get all the good updates and the voices of the people. But this is a program for the people, and we are for justice and safety in society.
What about the impact of getting outside from the people in different countries, Caribbean countries?
People find this fascinating because in Jamaica broadcasting, there's no live television program like this. Here, this program will go an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. They have radio programs where there's calling, but where it's topic-driven about societal issues, politics, and of course, I've sat in here where I've seen an open season on Guyanese politics, and of course, this man likes to ask me about USA politics too, so no problem. But this is a unique program, and people appreciate it.
So what is the population in Jamaica?
The population in Jamaica, well, they say the known population in Jamaica can be about 2.8 million to 3 million. So you have a smaller landmass than Guyana, but a larger population. And that's the 2.8 they think they know about. I believe there's a lot more people running around the country.
Yes.
And here, Guyana, what, about 800,000 in this beautiful land we love?
Well, the situation with the Commission of Inquiry, with the Commission of Police and the Deputy Commissioner and all the revelations that are coming out, there's a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of questions to be answered. But the main thing is, it looks as if the president of this country has got to clean up the Guyana police force. That's one of the Augean staples that has got to be cleansed out. The other thing is that the president was pretty busy this week. He went to the opening of the diaspora conference last week. He went to the Rastafari conference.
Wow.
And it was good to have the president of the Rastafari conference, even though he mentioned nothing but ganja. We talk about reparations.
You can't smoke. You can't smoke, you know. You can't smoke.
No. And the anti-smoking law is in place.
Yes, that's right.
No smoking. I have no problem in smoking in public. I smoke at home. I was born at home. Unfortunately, I want to stop smoking marijuana. I want to boil it. I want to cut it up and cook it. I want to put it in cookies.
Put it in chunk.
You want to chew it.
Yeah.
Do you smoke?
The point is, though,
I don't take any form of smoking at all. I can't stand smoking.
Okay.
Let me tell you a little bit about this anti-smoking law.
Yes.
It is a good law. But the point is, we are compounding the problem by the fines that they are setting up. We need to be able to have serious legal reforms in this country, which Mr. Ramtatan and the Attorney General, Mr. Basil Williams, should be heading. We need to be able to reduce the amount of people we put in jail. We need to do that. And one of the ways of doing it, America does it, United Kingdom and those other countries are doing it, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We cannot penalize people for smoking or small little activities. We have to find ways. One of the ways of doing it is to create community services, where when they commit a crime, a petty crime, that they should be able to serve their time doing community work.
The problem with the smoking law is that now you give the police more room to be corrupt, because if they find a man smoking a cigarette in public now, you're going to pay up.
This is where I agree with Rohi. Mr. Rohi made an important point. I don't always agree with him. I mean, but on this question about the penalties that they're putting on people, it is too harsh and needs to be relooked at. I'm happy that this bill is going to the select committee, where they are going to be able to debate it and discuss
it. That's one direct question. Mark, could you tell us a little about the guerrillas in the United States of America? Well, what is the position? What is the position with the guerrilla in the United States of America?
My position with the guerrilla?
Trump.
The transgender.
Yeah, transgender.
Well, this week in the American news, which many people here saw through the CNN feed that goes through this channel and many others, that the President of the United States reversed a policy in the United States military.
Yes.
Now remember, the Secretary of Defense is named General Mattis, who has been known as one of the best field generals in the history of the American military. Right up there with Eisenhower and MacArthur. So General Mattis is a field person. I have friends that are colonels and generals currently serving in the military. They say he's the real deal. So General Mattis knows about morale. The President of the United States has said, I want to back up the decision-making of the generals that I have in my cabinet. So here's what went down in the news. I'll say it this way. Mr. Trump fought to be the President of the United States, but now he has fought, so those who call themselves transgender will not fight. So they are removing transgender people from the battlefield of the United States military.
How could you do that?
Well, it's an order. It's an order. And here's what we have to think about. In the countries where there's current military...
How many transgender you got in the United States? Like how much? Couple millions?
Thousands.
It would be...
Millions.
I would not say it would be millions, sir, because if the population of the United States of America is near 300 million people, 10% would be how many, Leon? That'd be 30 million.
30 million.
So there's less than 1%. There's less than 1%. But again, what we're talking about has so many lateral layers of what our press in America is for, what the liberalism that we would call in America that would remove marriage as between a man and a woman is calling for, and very influential in the press. So going back to this decision, the U.S. military is in countries of Afghanistan and Turkey, which hold very sacred marriage between a man and a woman. Matter of fact, there are women fighting for Turkey. The Turkish Kurd women are great soldiers fighting against ISIS right now. So in the best interest of the morale of the United States military and the current battlefield issues, this decision was made. So voice of the people can debate it. We can raise questions about it. But I have to go with the general. I got to go with the general's decision.
What's the general's position?
That transgenders are removed from the battlefield.
Transgender.
That's what you said? I don't get against it.
Yeah.
They've been removed.
I want to judge public. We have two and a half hours on the program. Two and a half hours.
Okay.
On this program today, right?
Right.
Operate 2.5 hours, right?
So we go until 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, yeah.
Wow, this is a marathon today.
Because
that's right.
it's the weekend before emancipation.
Yeah, that's right.
We got to discuss
and what
emancipation.
year was emancipation?
1838.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing about emancipation, it affects all the races in Guyana.
Absolutely.
Because if we didn't get emancipated, indentureship would not have happened.
Okay.
And so all the people who came afterwards, the Chinese, the Portuguese, the Indians, everybody, even the Amerindians, we're all affected by emancipation. So that's another good thing Africans have done.
Let me go ahead and take this call to Vice City people. Justice for all program. Go ahead.
Justice
Caller, you're on the air. Hello?
Yes, how are you today, sir?
Yes, good, very, very good.
I discovered in the process of actually listening to the programs yesterday that there is an actual situation here where people are sabotaging the actual processes of government in Guyana.
In what way?
People have sabotaged their actual performance in providing services. I am absolutely sure many of the other services, including rights and various other things, are affected by people who have a pernicious intention in relating to this country. The people who have extreme political visions should keep to themselves. Everybody has a vision.
That's right.
You don't have to impose it on another.
Yes.
And what's happening is that somebody in the government should start investigating whether this sabotage is taking place in several areas of government. The people of Guyana earn and work for the right to be able to live a reasonable life, constitutional freedoms. And it seems as though this is madness. Something that the GT&T they put over $1 million reward to the people that are sabotaging the services to the people of this country.
What is solution to the problem? What is solution to the problem? What do you think is the solution to the problem?
The solution is somebody has to be able to say that there is an accountability when you become involved in things that affect the national security and service to the people of Guyana. And it should be a strong enough influence. In other words, people should get 15 years at least for trying to undermine the rights
that's right.
of the political institutions.
I agree with you 100%.
Somebody, I think the people that we're dealing with here, some of them I know, they're academically conditioned to be able to address this. This is not magic. All you have to do is tell people you're going to get locked up for certain things. There is so much variables that on the right, even the good intentions of the government and whoever else, that people never even get to discuss their real feelings. What shall we call it?
So thank you very much.
Somebody has to stand up and say, these are the laws of the country, and people must either adhere to it or find somewhere else to live.
I agree with that. Thank you very much. Mark, what is your advice on this?
Well, Mr. Rahman said something when he was talking about enforcing laws, and it was talking about the writing of laws, correct? Could it be in a society that is progressing and evolving, I have heard this said here in Guyana, a call for a rewriting and an updating of constitutional law for the 21st century to protect life. But this caller here very passionately emphasized enforce what's to be enforced. Keep what's enforced, but then also these issues that we've talked about in the opening of this program. What do I think? I think a rewrite and a self-evaluation needs to happen. Your parliament that meets together needs to have an ongoing committee about the Constitution and about the laws that need to be updated and rewritten. And that way, this conversation will be elevated.
That has just happened because the Prime Minister, Mr. Nagamutu, just tabled the bill for constitutional reform to be progressive, to be advanced.
Hello? Hello?
And of course, we know that on this day, we hail out the mayor and the city councilors who are meeting right now.
Mark, the biggest problem we have, as you can see from what is going on now as we speak, as you quite rightly said, it's not only about the question of reform.
Could you say that one more time for my wife?
That's what.
That I said it right? You said I said it rightly, so just say that one more time for my wife watching online.
Well, you said it.
But we know we have some more guests in on this program, right?
Fine,
we have Mr. Malcolm. Malcolm, come please. We don't have a
while he comes.
Hold on. You take everything. Come in, Malcolm. Malcolm, we don't have a chair right now.
Brother.
Please come. Bring a chair. Bring a chair.
Yeah, well, once he brings his chair, let me make the point.
Malcolm was a farmer leader, was just for the tree of party here. Sit here.
Bring a chair, put it there.
Yeah, sit here. I'm going to give everybody a chance. Everybody want to give a chance. Malcolm, what would you like to see? What happens in the society today?
Well, really, I like to see that we really look and try to resolve the problems we have with sugar.
Yeah.
And I think that the cooperative model is a model that can help in relation to making sure that the people who will be losing jobs form themselves into cooperatives, obtain the land that the state said that they will give them, that were in the same estate, so that they can either stay with sugar if they can make it profitable or do something else with that land.
Yes, okay.
But the issue we have there is whether the trade union, who earns their money through the rebates they get from Gaisuku, from the workers' salary, would allow that to happen.
Okay.
So you have to understand the entire dynamic of sugar.
Yeah.
But sugar is unprofitable to us right now. We certainly have to find a way to either make it profitable or make it meaningful.
Yes.
So we either have to go to added value for sugar.
Yes.
Or we just have to make sure we minimize sugar, but
what
operationalize
about rice? What you're not talking about rice?
Oh, I eat rice.
Yeah.
I eat rice every day. I'm a guy.
Yeah.
But they got plastic rice in the market now.
We don't know about that.
I don't know. We have an authority here on it. But there's a lot of things with rice that we can do that we could add value onto rice.
Okay.
What happened? We are importing a lot of things that we could actually make.
Yeah.
We do the other ingredients that they do, and we have this kind of rice and that kind of rice and the other kind of rice and the other kind of rice. We can grow black rice, we can grow yellow rice, we can grow bead rice.
Okay.
As long as you can grow rice, you can grow all the different types of rice. What the problem is that
could you please tell your party before years ago, couple of years ago? Please tell me your party.
No, I was a former executive member.
That's right.
A former executive member.
I just want the public to know that.
Of the United Force Political Party.
That's right. Yeah. Do you have?
Yeah. I'm the expelled executive member.
Okay. Why you expelled?
Huh?
Why you expelled?
Because I think there was a major conflict of interest between my position and the leader of the party then when he moved forward to accepting the cabinet post with the People's Progressive Party.
Okay. That's Mansour Nadir.
Yes, Mansour Nadir. Well, I thought, and I still think it was against the philosophy of the party. There was too broad a contradiction between the political posture of the PPP and the United Force at that point. Yeah. So I was expelled because I had that view.
Okay, I will ask it, Jen. Oh yes, you're right, Gary. Oh yes. Give me your name, please. Come forward a little more.
This is Mr. Jael Joseph.
Jalayon.
Yeah, Jalayon.
Oh, Jalayon. I didn't get the lion part.
Is your anybody's right name? Jalai?
Yeah, well, everyone knows that.
Where do you live? Where occupation? Where you live?
Well, right now we're living in South. Yeah. Got a few properties.
How was your occupation?
My occupation was, well, several things. First was
like what?
Was a seaman.
Yes.
And then, little knick-knack still I went.
Like what? Like what?
Well,
plant marijuana or what?
No.
Okay.
Tell
me, I like what, I don't like what.
Well, businessman really.
From New York City.
Okay, tell us what you want to discuss. Tell me what you want.
Well, I want to discuss this free migration problem.
Yes.
You see, first let me introduce myself. I is Lion, to the elders that know I.
Yes.
But to this young generation, David know me as earthquake sound system.
Yes.
There was a system I had.
Yes.
Generating the 85 when I was old.
Yes.
I've been going to America for most of my life.
Okay.
Over 40-something years.
Yeah.
Well, lately, I've been there with my wife. She's American, my children, grandchildren.
How old are you now?
72.
Okay.
Young man.
Yeah, young one, yeah.
So,
yes.
I was there with the speech that the president gave in Brooklyn.
Yes.
That people must.
Which kind of speech? What kind of speech in Brooklyn?
Well, he's welcomed the people in the diaspora to
what part in Brooklyn?
Church Avenue.
Okay. You were there?
Yeah, I was there. Everybody was there against support.
Who was the president at that time?
Granger.
Okay.
President Granger.
Okay, tell me what happened. You tell me what happened. You tell me what happened.
Telling everybody.
Yes, what do you tell him? What do you say? What do you say to them?
Well, welcome home and opportunities there and party change. And
yes.
So I said, well, it's time because my property I had a few things before I left.
Yes.
That deteriorated. So I told my family, well, I got to go and I don't need to return again because I can't take the racialism and the snow.
When you say racialism, what do you mean by that?
You know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. You got to tell me what you mean. I don't know.
You know they got a lot of racialism.
No, I don't. You got to tell me.
There are different things on the pavement.
Come on, tell me your words. Your own words. Tell me.
Well,
what are we? We Indian black or black and Chinese man? We do.
No.
We do. Tell me.
It's just like, well, the general is like the Europeans against, the people without.
You're born Guyanese?
Yeah, born Guyanese. I born up New Amsterdam.
Okay.
So I decided, well, I could come home.
Okay.
Answer the immigration call. And first thing.
Tell me what some of your major story you want to talk about today. Your major story.
Well, I want to show you how things was.
Yes.
I went into the embassy first with my passport.
Yes.
Because I didn't use it for a while.
Okay.
So
they take it away.
Well, they didn't want to do the force. I had to. When I present my passport, they tell me I got to get a birth certificate.
Okay.
I said, how can I send for a birth certificate at 72 years? Who can send it for me from New Amsterdam?
Okay.
Nobody don't know me.
Okay.
So I and them probably had a little reasoning.
Yeah.
But they realized I was telling them the truth because my old passport tell you everything. I don't need no ID.
Okay.
And birth certificate. Show my passport. So anyway, about a week or two after they called me and issue my passport.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll clear it. I said, well, what's necessary that I have to have when I reach from my migrate? Because they said they ain't doing it in New York again.
Okay.
That you got to bring your things and come and they can deal with it.
Okay, let me take some calls in here. Call you in here. Hello? Yes? You're in here. Yes. Please talk a little louder. I can't hear you.
I would like to comment on
the
prison.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Now, the prison.
Yes.
It started to be serious under the PPP. You hear me?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Yes. This is what transpired.
Yes.
For a state, a minister in that government visited the prison.
Which minister at that time?
My secretary.
Yeah, call him, no problem. He's a minister, call him.
He was a minister by the name of Mr. Ronald Gadra.
Oh, no, yes, good. We are no minister, yes.
He visited the prison one day,
yes.
And the next day, they were
kicked
on the Republic Day.
I know, I know all of the story, yes.
Now, added to that, the next problem the prison had
is
that they removed a police officer Guyana Prison Service. And when he get there, he had a call at the then time from Mr. Gadraj.
What evidence you got right now? What kind of evidence you got from that? How come I know that is true?
His name was Mr. He used to call him.
What is the fact? You got to give me the facts on that, right?
Oh, listen.
Yes.
His name was Kilo. He used to call him Kilo.
Okay.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Kilo Kenny.
Yes.
He got a call from Mr. Gadraj.
Yes.
Saying if any.
How you know you got a call from Gadraj? You tell me how you know that? How you know that?
He had a meeting with Mr. Gadraj.
How you know that? How you know that?
He came back.
No, hold on. How do you know that you had a call from Gadraj? How you know that?
I am an ex-prison officer.
Oh, now you're talking business, man. Now you're telling me.
I didn't want to identify myself.
No, Mike, you got to identify yourself. On this program, identify yourself.
But I was an ex-prison officer.
Yeah, okay. Now I understand. Yes.
He turned
Yeah.
and said
Yeah.
to us that any officer, not the prisoner, they're going to be jailed.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
As a result of that,
Yes.
he had 3 deaths on his hands.
Okay.
Because the prison officers did not.
Who was the first dead you had in hand? The first dead.
What's a prisoner? I can't remember his name.
All right, go ahead. Oh, you can't remember. You go ahead now.
Prison officers, them decide to stand off.
Yes, okay.
And not until
Okay.
fellow prisoners
Okay.
pass to them,
Yeah.
then the officers would move in.
Okay.
In that time, we was treated,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
After the moving of Mr. Kilkenny,
Yes.
they placed Mr. Dale Erskine, who is the longest serving director of prison.
That's true. I can recall that. Yes.
Mr. Dale Erskine had behind him the entire prison service.
Yes.
Then they call him an ex-army officer. No, he was an army officer at the time. Understand him?
Okay.
As deputy
Okay.
director.
Okay then.
When he came as deputy director, he was called competent. And
You
that-
call, you gotta make your point. You can't take it too long. Make your point.
Yes, he was called.
You gotta make your point. You gotta make your point.
I'm gonna miss my point.
You gotta make your point. You gotta make your point.
Make your point,
Get
he
to the
says.
point.
Get your point,
Get to
yes.
the point.
The deceitfulness began.
We can't hear a program like this so long. Too long. Yes.
Yes, he decided that this army officer would take over from Mr. Erskine. Man then after.
You take it too long with the program. Okay. Thank you very much.
If you cut
He's got caught here because you take too much
No,
time, man.
you should take over
It's a
a whole-
live program.
Yes, you take up a whole
Yeah.
program to talk about you.
Come next. Just relax, please come. Go back. Come. We want to get everybody opportunity. Come, ma'am. Lady, come first. Come. Have a seat. I want actually this lady's story. Come.
This lady was on the last program.
I want her to relax. Mom, your company, what do you enjoy? Tell me what you enjoy your company about. What is your name?
Paul Leslie.
How long you?
I'm from Better Hope.
Yeah.
I
You have went here before?
Yes. I went here, this is going to make the 4th time.
Yes.
And every time I come here, I get injustice.
Yeah.
And thanks, keep on the good program. Keep
Yeah.
up the good program.
Okay.
I went to the station and I make a report
Yes.
that my knees break my pipe, pull out my pipe.
Yes.
All we thieving current at the back of the squatting
What?
area. Thieving current.
Thieving current?
Yes.
That's
And
serious
all
matter.
we burying we wire because the road coming from they're making the road.
Yes.
So they're gonna make the road. So we wire the pipe lane.
Yes.
Everybody own there and they pull out my own. Why?
Why they pull it here?
Me and the mother had a problem months back.
Okay.
She go and she tell the sanitary that
Yeah.
how they side
Yeah.
door,
Yeah.
the sanitary they come and close me down
Yeah.
since January. I'm not working.
Okay.
My 2 children taking care of me.
Okay.
She tell the people them always get public assistance, get barrel in US, they disqualified my book.
Yes.
Okay, they're done.
Yeah.
Now I go and make a report and tell she stepfather that I talked to her. He told me to go and tell her father. I said I'm not going to her father because when I was young, he didn't want to say.
Okay.
And I'm not going to him.
What age was at that time?
Only 19.
What?
19.
Too young.
How old are you
Yes. I'm 49.
Okay.
Too young.
And I'm a single parent.
Yes.
And when you go to Sparendam station for make a report, the police them want to make mock out of me, and I'm not that person.
We can't tolerate that. No governor would never tolerate it. No,
I am a grandmother, and when I go and make a report, they must get serious with me.
Yes.
Because once I was young and I go there for make report, and they had sex with me, and I'm going down that road with them again.
Okay.
And I'm a respectable grandmother.
Yes.
Good. They tell me, I said the Mason send the sergeant send the police them for go for the girl, and why is going for the girl? The police them in the vehicle ask me where's the report? I said my report don't make.
Okay.
So she insists I must tell she where's the problem.
Yes.
Anyhow I tell she where's the problem, and she said that if I ain't tell she, they can't go and do no report. So they asked me if I see Diane. I said, no, I didn't see Diane.
Okay.
People see Diane and complain my son, and my son complained to child father. Okay. So child father told and said, he ain't see and he ain't know. If he did see, if he didn't know, he would have stopped her. Why they doing this to me? Them is my niece.
Okay, Mama, we have a limit time.
Yes.
All right? We can't take too long. You just
so
you got to make the point very slow.
Yeah,
easy.
so
yeah.
I just want the police to do the work and do it right.
You want the police to do the work, right? And do it right.
Yes, because it's a serious matter. Yeah. I'm going to take her to court if I can get justice.
Okay. So she wants to make a report.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. I went to make the report and they do nothing about it.
Okay, I can deal with matter, right?
Yes.
Later,
and when you can come by me for see the road and the places we're living in, you promise me you can come in, a call, and I ain't getting through to you.
So that's an invitation now.
Yes.
So you need to make a report, and you gave him an invitation.
Yes.
Okay, that's two things.
Yes.
Well, when you want to see?
When you can come?
When you want to come?
Let's go next week.
When you ready to come? When you ready to come?
When you want to come tomorrow? It's Sunday. Everybody gonna be home. You don't work on Sunday.
I'll come about Tuesday time.
Tuesday's holiday.
Oh, no. I'll come Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay. Yes.
And when I went on the program the last time, he said he gonna help me with my house, but I ain't get it as yet. When I get it, then I'm gonna come back to you for dough.
Okay.
I ain't gonna come back to you for the air for they come and kill me for
okay.
Oh no. So you make a report, you invite him to come, and so here's the third thing.
Yes.
You need to go to Better Hope Assembly of God.
I went there
and ask Pastor Prasad to pray for you.
I'll go there. I'll just go there.
Ask Pastor Dale Prasad. Hello, Dale Prasad. Pray for she. All right?
Ma'am, thank you very much.
Yes, and I want Mr. Granger keep up his good work.
Yes.
And help the poor people so they could get a home just like how I can get one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's
an easy. God bless you, right?
Yeah, I'll have a blessed evening.
Okay, good. Okay. Let me take some more calls in. Call you in. Hello?
Bye, Mr. Sharp.
All right, goodbye. Hello?
It's okay if I buy next to one house there.
Hello, call you in. Hello, call you in. Hello? Hello? Calling you there.
Yes, good morning, Mr.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I concerning the brother with the immigration.
Yes.
I know that brother.
Yeah, wait.
And I left him in America since 98 when I came back. And I got my remigration taken care of. And that was a PPP time.
Yes.
So I don't understand now how this brother come back now and he can't get his remigration taken care of.
Yes.
That's why I can't understand that. Because another brother was telling me about him because everyone know him well.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't understand how in PP time I got my, they tried to give me a little problem, but I got my affidavit and all of that and got it done and I got it.
Okay.
So I don't understand how right now this brother can't get his remigration. You know?
Okay. Caller, thank you very much.
Get it done.
Calling you here. Hello?
We're sorry. This number is temporarily disconnected. Please contact the commercial office.
We did go to see Jai Paul.
Yes.
I took him to see Jai Paul.
Yeah.
And Jai Paul sent a letter over to the Ministry of the Presidency. and we were told for him to take his documents to Minister Harmon's secretary, which we did about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we have not heard anything back since then. Oh no, I spoke to Minister Harmon myself.
Yes.
And he was very curt and abrupt with me, and for a public servant, I found it very deplorable because they've been inviting remigrants to come back.
Okay.
Right? They just had a diaspora conference, and the way he treated me, he could have said, come on in and let's discuss it. He said, no, don't come in, don't bring the brother. And I found it to be bad because he's a public servant, and we put him there to look after our business. So Mr. Harmon and Mr. Carl Greenwich need to talk to this brother, because when he was here back in the 80s, he used to help the PNC with his earthquake song system, with his PA system, with his band. He did a lot of work for the PNC. And now, our new government in power, and they're giving this brother a short shrift, and I find it totally abhorrent. And it's the whole thing they've been doing to the Rastafari community. They've been giving us short shrift. They've been treating us like outcasts, like stepchildren, like illegitimate children. And I feel that the Rastafari community in this country caused the new AFC government to be back to be in power. The 4,200 votes that they got from South Georgia and Linden are from the Rastafari brethren who don't normally vote, and we voted this time. We need to get help from this government.
Okay.
You're part of the government.
Relax. Finally, what do you like to see? Finally, what do you like to see now?
Well, I just looking for this duty-free concession.
What kind of duty-free concession you?
Well, I bought a Jeep, a 6-year-old Jeep, a used vehicle.
Yes.
And they tell me I gotta bring proof enough, excuse me, to show I've been in America. I gave them everything, the security, driver's license, tax return. I gave them the full works.
Yes.
Then they asked me, well, where your green card?
Yes.
I said, well, the green card I caught up with the fire about 6 years ago. And I never went back, and now that I'm coming home, I don't need it no more, because I come to stay. So they're telling me, well, I got to produce it, so I go produce it, and I'm here now. And I need the concession to get this Jeep, because as an elder, I can't walk about the streets at this age. And
Who you talk to during that time?
Well, I never speak to city ministers, it's just secretary.
Who you talk to during that time?
Well, I've been for city home affairs. The secretaries, them tell me, well, the minister don't handle this situation. I've been to the
Office of the Presidency.
Office of the Presidency.
Yeah, somebody tell you.
They take around the papers, photostatic, and tell me to let me know. When I call them back,
you didn't get no response from the minister.
They tell me I must go to some other ministry and talk to somebody.
Citizenship.
Yes.
Citizenship.
Yes. Yeah.
I say, well, why got to do all of that for? You know what I mean?
You got follow the
You give them a run around,
just run around, being I got to get police clearance, affidavit, the full
So you have this harassment. So much harassment you get in.
Yeah, I tired of this running around, you know. And then the thing is that, so I say, how much for the vehicle, to clear the vehicle?
Okay, how much you paid?
I paid the vehicle 50,000 American.
Yeah. US dollars.
Yes, so there's 3 million guys. Okay. They tell me I got to pay 9 million to clear it.
What?
9 million?
$9 million.
What can they tell me the name of the vehicle?
Jeep,
Prado?
No, it's just a used Jeep.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what vehicle it is, you're not supposed to pay so much. Mr. Sharma.
I can't remember the
something wrong. We got to find a little bit.
That's right.
I got to investigate and see what we're going to do for you, right? Actually, I've got to help you out. Okay. Thank you very much. You be sitting there. We will take after the next couple of minutes. We'll take a break, right?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, right.
Mr. Sharma, could I say something about his matter?
Yeah.
If he's a remigrant, he is entitled under our law of remigration to get 5%, only pay 5% on the vehicle that he is bringing back, providing that he has the vehicle more than 6 months purchase over there where it's coming from. I can't understand. I have had a lot of people having this kind of run around in the last government, but I don't understand why we're having this type of run around now with this government. We shouldn't have that. So what we will do, me and Leon will take up his case, see where the hiccups are, and resolve it sometime soon.
But we had gone to Jaipal and he sent a letter over.
We have the minister himself on this program here right now. You're right on the program.
Well,
Thank you,
Minister. What he did.
Be here on time, right? Let me see let me get some more calls. Call you in here, hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
This is the first time calling, right?
Yes.
I'm listening to you for the longest while.
Yes.
Right? one of the kids I went from you and he's going to working alongside you.
Yes.
Right? Now, what I'm looking at, right?
Yes.
The civil servant, the poor class of people are working for low wages.
That's true.
$60,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the government...
Hello? Hello?
It's gone.
Run out of credit.
Run the credit, yes, you run the credit.
But I think I want to, Mr. Charm, if you would allow me.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I'd like to contribute.
I'm going to allow it now.
Hi. Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon.
I do realize for the last 2 years, this country, Guyana, has already destroyed.
Guyana is not destroyed.
That's your old friend, right?
No, that's our old. No. Guyana destroyed. I can't say that, no. Go ahead, like we.
I think many that
you're not propaganda.
This guy, the problem there we have, it's a problem with the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bureaucrat, the person who have to do the function, is trying to get a gain.
Yes.
Again. And then that's the problem we have. And it's probably endemic right now. Right?
You mean
And I know it's endemic in the culture of the bureaucracy of the state.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we are trying to move forward, clean that out. And that's a Herculean task. All right? But the issue you have there is then when Leon just tell me that he spoke to the Minister of State or the Office of the President, Mr. Armand, and he was curt in his response to him.
Okay.
I like to advise Mr. Armand that he's a servant of the people.
That's right.
He has sworn his oath of office.
Okay.
He is our servant. The president is our servant.
That's right.
And he has to look after our interests.
That's right.
And Mr. Sharma, your program right here supposed to be enlightening the government to things that they cannot find out.
Yes.
Simply because they have not worked the capability to find out.
Okay.
Right? In the early days, the guys used to go around buying a beer, just finding out what's going on.
Yes.
Now, the state don't do that. They come and look at Mr. Sharma's program.
Yes.
And that's the kind of benefit the state of Guyana gets out of this program.
Okay.
And, that's a remarkable achievement.
Okay.
Right? But these issues is sometimes you just throw a lash on the government, and it's not really the government per se, but it's the officer whose job is to serve you is failing to do that. And when they are identified, they should be removed and replaced.
So what do you recommend should be done?
Anytime you find an officer who's failing to execute the duty and the processes that they have to execute, they should be removed.
Okay.
It's a simple matter. That means that they're incompetent to hold their office.
Hold the fire, let the gentleman speak. Yeah.
They're incompetent to hold their office.
Yes.
Because they're not doing the routines that they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Michael?
Leon.
Yeah, Ras Leon, yeah.
My brother needs help. His vehicle is on the wharf and it is accumulating charges every day. Now, this brother came back to invest in this country. He wants to do something for the Rastafari community and the society in general. All we're asking is for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to deal with this situation and use discretion, because here why. Minister Harmer was just 2 days ago at the Ramada Princess Hotel giving a speech to the diasporan delegates. They're still inviting remigrants to come. But when they hear that the hassle they're getting, they won't want to come home. Now, if he takes up this case and makes it a success story, it will show that we have a compassionate and humane government who's looking after the interests of Guyanese at home and abroad.
Robert, yes, let me...
What Malcolm is saying is right, but the point is, Malcolm, we have to put the mechanisms in place to be able to enforce what you just said there. Because let's make a distinction between the government and the state. I said the last program, remember? When a government is elected, the people who are in the institutions there, whether it be teachers, whether it be doctors, whether it be nurses, whether it be policemen, and civil servants, they are theirs. We don't go, the government doesn't go and say, hey, look, I'm going to knock off everybody. But what the new government can do, and which this government is not doing effectively, they're not doing it effectively, except our minister here, and they don't like
which minister?
This one here.
Which one?
Jaipal
Sharma. That he's doing an effective and efficient job. He's on the job. He doesn't go to work. He works. There's a difference from people leaving their home, going to work and doing nothing. I have questioned on this program, Malcolm, many times, what some of these ministers do. They do not realize that an election is coming up and they will be tested. So those people who they are ill-treating, they must know that those people have representatives who are capable of removing them. That is the test.
Okay.
No, your test coming to you.
Yes.
Why you are not recognized is because you failed to do what the AFC did. That is, they bind the APNU into an agreement that they can't get out. That is why Ramjatan and Mr. Nagamutu feels that they have the obligation to do anything for the Guyanese people.
Okay.
And Mr. Harman looks at this program. So whatever you are saying there, he's hearing it.
Okay.
And he needs to understand that he has to be more humble.
Let me take two more
He needs to be more accessible to people, as Jaipal Sharma does.
Yeah.
Jaipal Sharma is an exemplar of what we need as a minister.
Servant of the people.
Yes, that's what we need. People need to understand that is the kind of minister this country needs.
Talking about CM, at that meeting, APNU meeting, how they treated you? You were
good, very good.
Was a good meeting last
Saturday? You didn't tell us what happened there.
Good results?
I don't want to discuss that we got to do that in private.
In private, okay.
But you feel satisfied?
I feel satisfied.
And you feel a good member of
very
the
good,
group?
Very good.
You feel stronger?
Good, yes.
So we need to build that coalition.
Shama, I have one comment in relation to that.
Yes.
The government and the ministers and everybody who work with the state has to realize that every day they're on tests.
Yes.
They're on tests. It's not till the election is the measurement of their failure or their success. But they're on tests every day.
Yes, Malcolm.
Right? So understand it's a different ball game.
We have to make them
accountable. If Mr. Arman has realized that he has been impolite to Ras Leon, I think he can use the phone and ring and apologize. That is how my servant is working.
Trump right now is on test.
Have to apologize.
Tell me Trump is on test.
Everybody's on test. He's on a big test. When the atmosphere is negative, that's when the true person is going to rise up. See, he mentioned this word mechanisms. You talked about it a little bit because here's mechanisms of rice farming, sugar farming, and then the topic was the mechanism of immigration. Well, I would like to go on record saying the mechanism is only as good as the integrity of the leader. So the mechanism failed because a leader wasn't hospitable to a 72-year-old man who was just trying to come home, take care of his property, get a car off the wharf and start driving and doing some work. So the question really is, yes, laws need to be defined, must be enforced, can be upgraded and rewritten, but the mechanism is the heart and the integrity of the leadership. Leadership, because you can have all the rules you want, but there are democracies that don't enforce laws.
Exactly.
What about the gay like in the United States right now? What trouble Donald
Well, I try to stay far away from gay. I will never be accused of buggery in my lifetime, all right? Me no Batiman, all right? So in the United States, it's divided because the press is for it.
Yes.
The United States press is very pro.
But they have a law there that passed in those some of those states.
LBGTQ, and add a few more numbers. And so, does every citizen deserve the right of protection under the law and the Constitution?
Yes, certainly.
Absolutely. But I think, going back to what we earlier said, I think it's the right of a general, the Minister of Defense, the President of the United States, the President of Guyana, to decide what people group do I want fighting in the field. Because here's another issue. Is lesbianism, is homosexuality, is that a recognized minority? Because in the United States, they've put themselves with what we'd call people groups, cultural groups. Use the word minority. I don't like that word. But the fact is, does sexual behavior constitute you to be a minority group? I'm sorry. I don't believe so. I don't believe in that.
Calling you here. Hello?
Hello. Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day.
I'm listening to this program. I'm a very good friend of yours.
Yes.
When he's on this program is very, very, very sad.
Yes.
It seems to me...
You are speaking loud, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I said it?
Yes.
For example, you're talking about remigration.
Yes.
the first place of call is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
And if you start going around like the Office of the Presidency and the ERA, you will not get through. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have to determine that you are a remigrant. And when they determine that you're a remigrant, then they send you off to the
Well, you've been there already.
Come on, use returning. If you want to use remigrant, use returning.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I listen to you, Carla.
Yes, I'm saying that
yes.
If you don't go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you
I've been there
start the process from America, from the country that you're coming from. And the forms that you will fill out, those forms you will take to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They will determine that you're eligible for a migrant visa, and then the thing starts from there.
Okay, Carl, thank you very much.
ERA and all of these places without.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but the man been there already. He went to the Home Affairs. The man went to the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Mr. Saul is a very intelligent person. And I would advise him that he has to find out the roadmap to all of these places, because people listen to you. You're an opinion leader.
Yes.
And you can't come there speculating. You have to come there with right information.
Well said. And you know, basically, he said a powerful word called a roadmap, understanding the roadmap. So we're talking about basic civics, how you operate as a citizen with these opportunities when there's problems and challenges that come.
Call your name. Hello?
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Now, I got a problem here.
Mr. Thomas,
Mr. Sharma, you run this program for the voice of the people, or the voice of the vice president.
Yes, vice nice.
Good. I want to encourage people there to come with a problem. It's not to be bashful.
Yes.
I listen to the program very carefully.
Yes.
And if somebody has something to say, you have to listen before you could understand exactly what they need to say or what they're saying. Now, concerning the panel there, we always have these brothers coming in from where they came from, and after they enjoy the good life.
Yes.
And then they come to the dark, and the dark, and the dark, and the dark, and they start sounding like the Americans.
No, you sound this now.
No, what I believe they should do, as they know and they got ideas, try to get these parties together.
How we get it together?
And see if we could work out something that we could all move this country forward.
Okay.
We don't need to hear about the past and the PPP and what this government was to do and what bankruptcy this government did. We need to come together as a people, as a nation, seek the face of God, and try hard to move this country forward. While the elephant fights, the grass is trampled upon, and the arrest animal is rented so. So we need stability, we need accountability, and we need peace, and we need cooperation. One people, one nation with the destiny.
That's right.
Stop coming to your program and blah, 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 because they don't, I believe they got too much English now. Come and try to see how we could move this country forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Sharma, let me respond to this guy.
Yeah.
This guy is telling me we must move away from competitive politics. Now, without competitive politics, we wouldn't have the opportunity to determine what's better in terms of a policy and make an adjustment of policy and so on.
Exactly.
You all understand you can't give up the competitiveness of politics. And in the competitive politics, we have to go with the negative functions that also come with it. Unless we can, the human nature can design a better system, that's the best system we have.
Exactly.
We have to, the leaders will come up and leaders will go. And it's a competitive political process that makes it happen.
It's also a question of trial and error.
Exactly.
Let me ask you, Minister, for your opening remarks. Minister?
Yes, thank you, Stephen, and I must say I'm happy to see Malcolm here.
Yes.
Malcolm visited my office after listening to me at a conference that we had in relation to cooperatives, the International Cooperative Day. He liked what I said. He said he saw something in me, a passion, and he came to my office. I extended an opportunity for him to be on this program, to speak a little about cooperative and to add a fresh view and voice to this program. This is what the Just War Party is about. And so it's to open up the viewership and the participants and those that are listening and viewing this program to a wide selection of views. And so I sat here listening to constructive criticism, and this is what I like. And so I also, as looked at the matter that was being discussed here in terms of the vehicle. I wrote the Vice President, Carl Greenwich, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, yet to receive a response, but I indicated to the individual that this would not be an easy case because, as a caller rightfully say, before we criticize, we must know the process, the roadmap. And what happened in his case is that a number of it was breached. And so it's a judgment call, not for me, I'm one of the Minister of Finance, but as the caller said, this is in the realm of the Minister of Foreign Affairs to determine if you qualified or not. And that is the reason I had written to him. But currently there's a discussion in the cabinet that if that function in terms of remigrant status should be handed over to citizenship. So that's the reason why they probably would be sending him to citizenship to determine that situation. So again, a lot of people will come to me when they are in problem. I have to solve the most most difficult of problems because they only find a way to my office when they don't have
problem.
Help from no one else.
When they're exhausted,
Malcolm did not a problem.
They exhaust the ropes.
No, not with Malcolm. Malcolm, well, yes, it could say so. It could say that, yes, it was a problem. That's why he came to me. Because no other minister was not speaking the way that I spoke. So he came to me. So he could say yes. But what happened is that there's a process when you would apply for remigrant status. So usually it commences when you arrive in Guyana, but you could have the briefing from the officials overseas. So when you arrive here, within 6 months you apply. If that 6 months should pass and you apply afterwards, well then the best thing to do and the safest thing is to probably go back and come back. Right? So you'd have to determine if the person is abusing the system. And what happened prior to this administration, where there's a lot of abuse of this system of being classified as a migrant, coming in, bringing in as boat, bringing in a container of household articles, 2 SUVs. Now these things cause a lot of, cause a lot of debt to the state because it's tax write-off.
It's fraud.
It's duty-free concessions. It's all of these things. So it adds to what we can't. We are a poor country, we give away. And we give away to who? The rich. So we have to scrutinize these processes and ensure that who is being granted with free concession, those persons are qualified. We know about cases where a person just came in, applied, got 2 Lexus, and then after a couple months they went back home and they leave the vehicle or they sold it in Guyana, making money for themselves. People come to visit Guyana in the previous government and apply and get concessions.
That's right.
And so we don't want this to be abused. However, what the Minister of Foreign Affairs need to do, and also the Minister of Citizenship, if the responsibility is now his, there must be that room to give some amount of relief to a person if they're caught in such a situation. Now, listening to his situation, it wasn't his fault, it was not properly informed. And so who's to be blamed? All right, so this person now being faced with a 9 million tax or just forfeit the vehicle. So we have to look at this. So it's a judgment call, flexibility, and the question is the law allow for it?
Well, let's
and if you should open the if you should do this for him, we may open the floodgates. You have to do it for a number of people. So we may have to sit and say how many persons would fall in this category, and say within a year we will deal with all those situations. Thereafter, no one else will be dealt with.
Call your name. Go ahead, please. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
And the panel.
Yes.
Can I speak to the minister, please?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes, you're listening. Yes.
I applied for house by 2003.
Yes.
When I go to the house and I skip sending a call and no answer call. So last week I went in and said don't have any. But my problem is.
What's your problem?
Yes. They have house last sale for 2, 3, 4 million. And why I cannot get one to buy from the government?
Okay.
That's known since 2003 I applied for one. Okay. Can you answer me that, Minister? Thank you.
Can I, Minister, answer the question?
Well, again, difficult questions put to me again. There's a minister responsible for communities. As a matter of fact, there's 3 ministers. responsible for the ministry communities, one with direct responsibility for housing.
Yeah,
However, you asked me a question, so I addressed in your question. So presently, there are no house lots available. Government will be developing a lot of it. Before November, December, there should be a lot of house lots available at the market. So your application will be looked at. Come to visit my office, if you could visit my office anytime, so I could make representation on your behalf. After listening to your particular situation and see if I could justify it. So it may be put on a priority listing.
Okay. Nice. Thank you.
That is a response. Put on the priority list.
So we found more oil, CN.
Yeah.
But that's an important point you made, Malcolm. You must housing must have priorities. Depending.
Shameless government.
All right. Next.
Yes. It must have priority because there are people in different situations. If a person, a woman has three or four small children, she hasn't got a place to live. That is a priority. So what needs to happen is, as has happened in other countries, you have a list of priorities. People who are in vulnerable situations, like domestic violence, we need to be able to have them on the top of the list. You see? So these are matters that this government is now considering. In the past, you see, you made an important point, Malcolm. You don't know how important it is, which is this. People do not like us to discuss the history because the PPP elements do not want us to show how they have disenfranchised people. Look at Mr. Sharma. He shows that program every time, which is very important, to show the history of our country, to show how he, Sharma, and his team of people over the years, over the 25 years, that how he has fought for justice, rights, and freedom of the Guyanese people. He is the only one who took those risks. So he needs to show people where we are at this moment and the progress under this government that we are making. Look, the government needs to speed up a lot of things. Mr. Harman needs to get on and make sure that a lot of these things happen. He doesn't have to do it, but he has to ensure as the enforcer. This government needs an enforcer. The president should make officially Mr. Harman the enforcer.
But he is the enforcer.
No, but he has to officially know that he's the enforcer. So you don't have to go to him. He needs to get on to those people who are not doing the work.
Oh,
he needs to make sure, like how Jaipal Sharma is doing his work, he makes himself accountable. People can phone in and talk to him, go and see him. That is what Mr. Harman needs to do to the other ministers. Then they become a servant.
So Mr. Harman's position is, for the viewers, tell everyone his position is?
He's the enforcer. He is the man who, after the cabinet meeting, makes sure that the decision that are taken at the cabinet meeting is implemented.
Help the viewers. Is it called the Office of Enforcement? What is the name of his office?
He's State Minister of State.
Okay, so it is a management.
He needs to be Chief Minister.
It is a management.
Yes,
an Office of Management.
Yes.
I have a difficulty, a constitutionalistic difficulty with the concept that the minister is a super minister, and you saying that
somebody has to manage these ministers.
Hold a moment. When the minister is appointed, the minister is the policy person for the ministry. He deals with policy and the execution of the policy that the cabinet agrees to. I'm not finished.
Execution, yes.
Right? It is the permanent secretary who is the administrative head of the ministry.
Correct.
So the permanent secretaries are supposed to be the enforcers of competence in the ministry.
Correct.
No, I'm talking about the professional. No, we have to understand. No, hold a moment.
You're right so far.
Hold a moment, because the line you're going down is a dangerous line. You're politicalizing the entire public service. You have to care for. Don't go there, brother. We had enough problems already.
You're misunderstanding me.
No.
Relax.
Hold on. No, the point is, it is a dangerous thing in any society for any person could be identified or executing the job of as an enforcer, because that's a route to dictatorship, and that's also a route to the challenge of the office, the exact office of the presidency, who ultimately is the one supposed to be the one who's carrying out these duties.
Could I clarify what I mean?
All right. That's how you clarify.
So he wasn't saying the president
No.
He wasn't saying the president was an executioner.
Could I clarify?
Executioner.
No, hold on. Let me clarify what I mean.
All right.
Earlier in the discussion, I made the point about the separation of the government from the state.
I agree with that.
Good. Okay, good.
I agree with that.
And
the government governs and the state exists.
I agree with the point that you are making. That is why I am saying the ministers of government are policy makers, and they have a program which is their manifesto.
That changes in cabinet occasionally and changes in parliament as law.
They're not supposed to change it.
But therefore, they're responding to the differences in time.
But we know the change, but fine.
They have to.
Okay, listen. Listen to me carefully, Malcolm. The point is that the ministers, recently, I understand, I don't know if it's true, the minister here can clarify that, that the ministers now at the cabinet meeting are made to report back what happens in their individual ministries and not the permanent secretaries. Now, you are right on the question.
But that is a policy frame. It's supposed to happen.
No, you are
right. The permanent secretary is supposed to report to them.
The question that who manages these permanent secretaries who appear at a meeting of the Minister of Finance half an hour late.
That's another matter.
This is the problem we have.
That's the problem of competence.
We have an oversized bureaucracy that is incompetent, corrupt, and inefficient. An oversized bureaucracy that is incompetent, inefficient, and effective, and not accountable to anybody.
Let me move it to pro right now.
No, that's my
so why? All right, let's have the minister.
Hello.
Yes.
Panel.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm concerned really with the COI, with the investigation, with our president and the assassination.
Yes.
The investigation.
That's where we got to start.
And I'm listening to the opposition really speaking out on this matter. To me, it's way far things that he's trying to cook some kind. I don't know where he's going, which road really going down. To say to this nation that our president is doing the wrong thing by calling an investigation into that plot that has been plot against our president. And now the situation is being exposed, and we're seeing seems as though from the top
we don't know the facts as yet.
Evidence enough to prove that there was indeed a report made concern, and it was keeping below surface and not really surfacing. So the president have a right, it's his life, and he have a right to know who's got at the top.
Yeah, that's true, yes.
And if the people who are supposed to be security around our president is not trustable, then he have to call and get people who he feels competent, and he's making something from Mr. Slow or something with some junior man. The reason that he's a junior up to now is because he was under the PPP time, and they keep him down. They never give him the promotion because he's a plain open guy.
That's true.
And remember, he dealing with Mr. Rowe. Even so, he give him, they had to give back somebody some gun, and I said no. And because of that, he was victimized.
That's right.
Time. So he got the rise to the top the way he should. So I think Mr. should reinforce, understand what he really saying concerning that man competence of dealing. The man was always up top there, but you've never given the chance. There are many more people who was always up top there, like he said to Mr. Rajatanadu, as long as I'm president, you shall never be nothing in this country. If those men turn back to be what he deemed them not to be, they become what is supposed to be. He's not God. So I want to let him know plain, and not that I don't much concern about his statement is wrong towards our president. It seems as though he's agreeing with what is taking there. We should have really left it how it been. And I don't think that this is a serious matter in terms of being, and can't I understand that the thing was only aired only at that level. It was taken to Grove then before, and there's a lot of issues before it really reached to that stage. Why was it keeping down all the time? We are still concerned about our president. I think the safety of his life. And I think that the president is doing the right thing. Mr. Jagdeo needs to really give kudos to what the president is doing. He was trying to attack, but he got issue and he giving up money. They keep us ICOI for Mr. We name again. the man that carried this store and the WPA party for how much $1 million to give. It wasn't a real thing. And the guy wrong with how much million. Now we talking about this is a serious matter.
Okay. Caller, thank you very much.
Okay.
Jaipal, Minister?
Yes, before I get into what the caller said, I just want to, because this housing issue is a big issue and this administration is getting a lot of licks for it. So when we took over with about 28,000 house lots. Wow. That is application waiting for house lots, 28,000. So under our administration, no one didn't add a single application, and there was 28,000 application we had to be dealing with. Before, this is backlog. So I understand when person would come to me, say, since in 1995 they apply, and they only get response in 2016 under our administration. I said, you should thank us, but they don't see it that way. And so I know there are cases where, as Mr. Rahman said, I said before him, and we need to prioritize. So when you come to see me and I ask you questions, it's just to get the gist of why it's so important so I could make representation. And I would be writing a lot of problems. The secretary, in this case, the Central Housing and Planning Authority, the CEO, Saul, to ask for assistance for those persons to be given an interview. Because I will write whatever they told me. I will transmit that information. I see it as being genuine. And I ask them to review the matter, review the case. So as a minister, I don't say when a person comes to me, and it's not my responsibility. So this is what I would do. So when the COI was being conducted, and a very important man, which I have a lot of respect for, the crime chief said is not his responsibility to go and check a record, it offended me. Because if it's someone at the caliber of the president, the commander-in-chief, I don't care who you are, get up where you're sitting and go and do your job.
That's right.
Right, so these things are very offensive. What the leader of the opposition said is that he recognized that these things that we made public, the nation never heard before how a police investigation is being conducted when the most senior official of the land is plotted against his life. And so what the leader of the opposition was saying is basically that it humiliates the police force and the police officer and it lowered the morale. But what he's saying there, he's saying he was president for this country for 12 years now. He was father of the nation. He's saying he condoned these bad behavior of his children. And so this administration, this leader, this father of the nation, David Arthur Granger, commander-in-chief, is not going to condone those bad behavior. But he would not be a person who's going to use the iron fist, and when he decides to take an action, the public would not know why he took that action. So you, the general public, is aware now that, it was a messy situation. You could imagine the mess we got to clean up. And this mess is in the police force at the highest level. So it's revelation time. Yes. And we must say the president, Jack Leo said, when he heard of this plot, you know what he said openly?
Yes.
And people, I don't know why they listen to this guy. He's leader of the opposition, former president, and a man of many doctorates. So doctor said that President Granger, you know what he should do? He should ensure these persons be charged for treason. He must use his power. That is what he said. Now he's coming on television, he's going on press conference stating that the president's COI should not be done because he's demoralizing the police force and embarrassing them. So what he's really saying, he's saying the president must cover up. He's saying the president should not ask for the COI, but the president should direct through his Minister of Public Security. I direct you to investigate this matter and report to the president. The public must know, and the officers that work in below, these senior officers must know the caliber of people that are taking leadership from. We need a caliber of people that will lead our defense force in a way that it should be run. So I commend His Excellency for the COI. His Excellency, although this plot was made against him since 2015, and you're aware of it about 2 months, it took 2 months before he said, hey, enough is enough. I gave you enough time to do what was right, and I'm going to now expose you.
Right,
he didn't say, I is president and I'm going to go after whoever did not investigate my plot against my life, and I'm going to off with the head. He didn't go that way. He said the public should know, and he waited his turn, 2 months. And I think that, that is show the strength of the man himself.
This inquiry is bringing up, Mr. Sharma, a number of things. It shows the rottenness of the police force over the years. And it is going to show up when the commissioner comes back and he has to give evidence at that inquiry. You will see much more being revealed, because the questions what's going to be asked about is his historical involvement in the number of issues, including Linden, is going to come up. You see, history, the facts of history has got to be revealed to show the reasons why Jagdeo is intervening in this matter and not allowing and not wanting to allow this commission of inquiry to investigate, because he particularly is involved in a lot of things which will come to fore when this investigation commission report is put out. The man who is head of this investigation, somebody said it before, Paul Slow, was discriminated against by the last government. The man should have been commissioner of police. He had the necessary qualification and the integrity. That was why he was chosen to do this work.
Yes, I support the point. So saying that Paul Slow is a junior man in the police force as assistant commissioner, yes, he was denied. He could have been commissioner.
Yes.
But this is the same former president then, who say that people like that should not go nowhere. And because of the same issue that he didn't follow instruction of the Home Affairs Minister.
Exactly.
And the same man was saying to seasoned attorney that you would never be a senior counsel. This is the same man who's saying in papers today in the press conference that, you know what, this Broadcasting Authority Amendment Bill is an attack on press freedom. The same man that closed you down.
Closed it down, yeah.
So
closed it down 3 times.
Where this guy is where he have the moral authority to speak on these matters, and why the general population is listening to him and think he's making sense.
And yet he comes on, then unashamedly come to this same program, the same station, to have their program every Thursday. Absolutely no shame. I saw.
I'm close to 3 times.
I saw Gail Teixeira on the YouTube her program talking here on this station last night. I was looking at it again, and it amazes me how these people can have the gall. The gall. I can't find words to describe it. To come and moralize in our politics in this country.
Well, that's wonderful. You're a faithful viewer of that program. Hey, this just came in from our morning inspiration text line. Congratulations to PNC General Counsel in its 60th anniversary, and to President Arthur Granger. So that came in. I'm reporting what somebody else said.
Send you a message.
But seeing, person saying to me, the Minister, is the government, the administration, thinking that possibility that the fiery jailbreak was orchestrated because the COI didn't know was coming up. So these are things that we have to consider, serious questions. I said I don't know, but it may sound logical. It may be possible when you're listening to the level of persons that was involved in maybe a conspiracy. So we have to look at this COI as very important.
I wonder if people really heard what you said, because there's some enormity in the things you talked about in the housing. When you stepped into leadership, the new party, 28,000 unanswered housing applications. That is true.
Yes.
And the population of this nation is what?
750,000.
So that's almost 3% of the entire population of this country. That's an enormity.
Yes.
That's
and Mark,
you talk about a new business model needing to be talked about. What would that be to handle that many for that many years?
No, but added to that, there's more. There's more facts.
Oh, you mean there's more?
Yeah. Right.
The more alarming facts than that.
Added to that, the previous government did wonderful. They created about 80,000 house lots.
Yes.
And there's about
25,000.
Approximately 25,000 of those houses that was never taken up. So they never enforce. So why people want it? Why people want and have a demand for it? There's people who had it and never utilized it.
So the product was available.
Right. So
no, they were given, but they were not able.
Matter of fact, I wanted to follow up with what Japan said.
If you go to the various housing schemes, you will see jungles, people unoccupied property. So they never build, and then they're going to sell it afterwards and make a profit. So we saying there's a demand. Added to that, there's more. The COI, not the COI, sorry, but the forensic audit that we did at the Central Housing Plan Authority, what it revealed is that the previous government gave away 370,000 acres of prime real estate to private developers that is connected to them.
What?
Yes.
One of them is a man
that is
called...
only on the East Bank.
What?
So this is land that we could be giving you those 28,000 persons that have application. So, you know, this will be investigated, and if it's possible, I would say to the administration, repossess those prime lands. Because those lands, when I looked at it, it's supposed to cost, although they sold it for zero. You can imagine you sold acres of land to zero because it was a member of your party.
What?
Right. So they actually give acres, 30 acres of land to a party member free.
What?
And in addition to that, they sold lands ranging from $525,000 Guyan per acre to $9 million per acre.
That's one give a long story.
So this is what I will be investigating. What I'm saying to you, that the cost, although they sold those lands, the cost of it was actually close to $1.9 billion. The people who they sold the lands to, who were connected to them, actually payment was only about 1.1 billion. They owe us money too. So it's insult to injury that we give them 370,000 acres of land and they don't pay us.
Okay. Let me say, when my station was closed, it closed over 6 months. 6 months, then 6 months it closed down. During that time, Balmiki Singh, who's had a place.
National Frequency Unit.
He's still there.
Balmiki Singh did. And he's the man closing my station.
Yeah, he's still there.
He closed the station. He struck, pull at my door.
That is why I told you that those civil servants need to be removed from those positions that they are there.
He put it in the door.
Need to be removed.
Yeah, but we have a problem with capacity. Less than 30% of public sector investment program was expended. And it means that the government, what was it, issues call. The problem is we can move them out of the positions, but who are we going to put there? We have a problem in Guyana. Money is budgeted and enough money is not being spent because we don't have the capacity to make it happen.
Should not be there.
Yes. I am not.
Should not be there.
Exactly. So, I am not saying that you, listen, there are ways of dealing with these matters.
How?
Let me explain.
Bring people back in from the diaspora?
No. There are ways of dealing with these matters. Look, on the question of the judiciary, we got more than 3,000 backlog since the PPP time. Attempts have been made by this government to speed up some of it by having night courts. Dr. Fenton Ramsahoi, when he was here the last time, he was very upset about this whole matter. And he said you can resolve this whole thing by actually getting people from the Commonwealth, retired judges from the Commonwealth, bring them here. You don't have to pay them much. You can negotiate with their governments and let them come here. And you can have 5 courts established and you get these high-profile judges. A number of things can happen out of that. One, one second, Mr. Let me make this point.
Okay, please, take some more calls. Call you. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon. Yes. What?
The land that Lid Cool.
Yeah.
Lid Cool is down at Mohammed and the ownership of now.
Yes.
And Jennifer Westford, thousands of acres.
Okay.
They are poor in the highway.
Okay.
I don't know if you're all aware of that.
Okay.
That's a long time ago, man. That's his holders, man.
Please hold your fire, please. Yes.
Given to them.
Yes.
Minister Westford was a member for
Okay.
Mr. Barman.
Yes.
Thousands of acres.
Okay.
Given to one person.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Whatever information you have, it may sound like we know it or we may have it. Maybe we don't have it. So come visit my office and let us have a discussion.
Yes.
I'm going to see at the degree at which I have information.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
No. I have a problem. You know you came and visited me a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Since about 6 weeks now. And this
yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas. That you would have come and try and assist. I like the program that we're going to get. Proper place to walk in and go. You didn't visit all the roads, but that is the best road you visit that we have there. And to my surprise, I mean, you can do everything, right? I see Hope getting a new road, and the population in our schools, and getting nothing, because when you came here, it was raining. And from since then to now, rainfall every god day. And you know what? The whole place is in a mess, and we are getting nothing. Now, please see what you could do as early as possible, because school is going to reopen just now, and therefore the children have to use that same road. Again, no, Mr. Rahman,
Right.
with all due respect, you know me and you guys, I respect everybody on the panel.
Yes.
Because we are all human.
Yes,
but sometimes you have to shut up and listen.
Yes, sir.
Or else you would never learn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, this is a common feature. And everywhere I go, the question is roads, the question is bridge, and I don't know if I should be the Minister of Public Infrastructure. That is what people will ask. But being in the Ministry of Finance, I could say we have limited resources, and we cannot use all of our money only to build roads and bridges. We know the situation in the country. The country is very large, and is to build roads, everyone new roads, proper roads. It has to be a phased approach. So yes, your comments, your condition of your road was communicated to the RDC. I personally spoke to Minister Patterson, that is the Minister of Public Infrastructure, about your road. And so I continue to speak. And so we have to continue to agitate. As August 1st, we'll be celebrating emancipation. So happy emancipation to the nation. The Guyanese people, in particular the Afro-Guyanese, who did a great lot for this nation. Without them, we Indo-Guyanese or the others that follow would not have been living without chains. And so because of the sacrifice they made, those that follow had a good life. And so what the Africans did, and we did our part in Guyana for the persistent fight for freedom. And we started that. History will say there's many, but the two main important ones is the 1763 movement and the 1823 movement, which contributed greatly to saying to the Europeans that we would not take this condition that we're living under, not me, but the Afro-Guyanese. But what is important is that village movement came out of the Guyana aspect of emancipation, 1830s. Village movement, believe it or not, Guyana was the only in the history that had village movement. So village movement belongs to Guyana. Village movement started what we call a cooperative society. And as a result, that is why I again say we should learn from the older folks. We, the younger people, could add our advice, but don't discount their input because they have institutional memory. And so the Rastafari Party believe, as you see amongst you, a lot of senior persons from the here, you know, they're seniors, and I'm also great. So, but we need to listen to them. But we're not excluding the young people. So you must work together with your seniors colleagues that they may guide you and you may guide them. And together we could move this country forward. I say learn from the example, not of the badness and the behavior of the prisoners of Camp Street. But look what they managed to do. To break out from the most secure penitentiary of Guyana. And destroy it in the same instance. And also dig the way out of the pasture at Lusignan. So continue, you see, they're working together in cooperation. Why we can't do it? And we see we're educated, we're civilized. Those are uncivilized people. How they could have that level of planning.
On this program we had two Rasta. We have
Malcolm the Freitas.
No,
I'm a Guyanese.
No.
I'm not a Portuguese, I'm a Guyanese.
You're not Portuguese, but it's two Rasta. It's two Rasta. And you use...
I'm a friend. I'm just a friend. I'm just a friend.
A Muslim.
Friend of us.
He's an executioner.
He's friend of the Rasta.
And Hindu. You see, we got mixed race. I'm sure we have mixed race walking around us here.
And you know, an author wrote these words that I find very powerful when you think of emancipation. He said this: the past instructs you, but the future invites you. And so much good instruction still for us all to glean from some of the things that we've heard about
Michael,
the past of this country.
Let me hear.
Yeah.
Right now,
You know.
we need to focus on the future.
Yes.
Because the future is now, and now is oil.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to look into the future and know that we've got monies coming. But at the same time, I will still insist that we've got to keep our focus on agriculture.
Yes.
Diversification of agriculture. We got to still look at rice, to some extent sugar and its vertical integration thereof. Why we can't drink oil, we can't eat oil. And oil is fossil fuel, and we're talking about green economy, a green state. And so we got to still look at alternative energy sources, because we don't know we got oil in the bucket. But at the same time, we got to expand our economic base. And agriculture is the basis for that expansion. So I will still say that now we're celebrating emancipation. The real freedom comes from the land. You know?
Well, let me say this. It's surprising that this will come from you.
Yeah.
And you should know this better than anyone. That when the Justice Royal Party joined with the APNU, is because we had commonalities in terms of what we think. And one of the things is that agriculture is the backbone of this country.
That's right.
Is labor intensive, and the only way we could provide it for every single Guyanese.
Correct.
And so our position is agriculture will be the backbone. The population of the world by 2050 will increase by over 2 billion.
Yes.
There will be demand for food, and we have the land.
Exactly.
And we need to plant, and we need to feed the nation. If we could only subscribe to the 4 to 5 billion import bill for the Caribbean community, we could solve our situation with issue of income generation for this country. Again, co-op society, and Malcolm is dealing with agriculture, natural products, and so this is our drive, this is our vision. And His Excellency the President pushing for a green economy. Green, I tell you, is agriculture, so why are you telling me that we must think about agriculture? So the President have a green state development strategy, if you didn't know about that.
Malcolm?
So learn about that,
Of course.
understand it, and what the green economy means is that it's sustainable economy. People must develop this country and its natural resources sustainably. And so we have to think for a future generation, not just present. So in the oil sector, the oil revenues will be used to boost the other economies like agriculture. You know what was keeping this country behind? It's energy, cheap energy. Agro-processing, and with that oil, we could have that cheap energy. So we could create employment. We could create business. We could create enterprise, and so that is our plan. So by 2025, the President's vision, and the vision of it should be all of us. The vision is that we will not be relying on fossil fuel. We will be 100% renewable energy. Okay. So these are some of the things you should consider. So when I'm here, I'm sitting in the forum, I've been invited and people saying the government should go agriculture. I said, what do you understand when the President says the green economy? You know?
But that's why...
No, hold on. This is where I get the energy now.
What you
drinking? Now I get the energy we drink the drink. But if I drink Pepsi, I get the energy.
You need to drink orange juice.
Yeah, I get the energy.
You need to drink fresh orange juice, which comes from the soil.
What about rice milk?
Hold on. Malcolm, you got to say. Malcolm.
No, I agree. I agree with the position. And I'm happy that the minister articulated the history and the psychic of our people, which basically comes out of. And we are actually in our nation the first people who've actually had a cooperative that later was now determined to be cooperative. The village movement came out of that, and the village movement came out of slavery. And in the slavery, the slaves contributed, and out of that contributed cooperatively. They purchased villages, right? And so it's endemic in our culture, cooperativism.
Yes.
But our problem is we don't teach it, and we don't articulate it, and we don't live it.
So what is your cooperative name?
My cooperative is the Natural Agricultural Co-op Society. We will be doing a lot of things in agriculture without using chemical fertilizers. We're also going to be doing added manufacturing in relation to our produce. We're thinking about growing a lot of herbs, different types of herbs. We have over 230. Okay, you keep your head to you. We have over 200. We have only 230 other. Hemp is is a very powerful medicine, please.
What?
It's powerful medicine.
What's a powerful medicine?
What? I'm saying to you, we have in Guyana, native to Guyana, we have over 230 different herbs that are usable.
Okay.
And when we go forward into it, we might even find more.
Okay. Pastor, some of your view. Your view.
You know, I'm always amazed.
It's open program.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at the great opportunities that are before people.
Yes.
But also, too, the great problems some people inherit to take on these opportunities. So we fight a good fight. We do a good work. And we also remember another writer who said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's why I was so struck by what Malcolm said about new ideas of enterprise, new models of business. You can't solve 21st century problems using 1950s methods. So some ways in governance are old-fashioned, and they need to step up. And I found one of the greatest ways that I can learn more is when I'm connected to social media and to a lot of young people in Guyana who are talking about their nation, who are talking about their schools, who are talking about life. And so I want to give a shout out, Mr. Sharma, to some wonderful young people at the Elam Pentecostal Church in Middle Road, Guyana. They're tremendous on social media. Also the young people, and they have their own hashtag. I did help you with it. Hashtag Young and Free from Industry. The People's Assembly of God Youth Ministry. They're on social media and they're encouraging each other. There's been a time where the suicide rate has been very high in this country, but when you have positive young people talking about what you can solve.
Pastor, we have privilege in our country now. We got to pray for the country. We got to pray for the country.
Absolutely,
yes,
we do.
Yes.
Absolutely, have to pray to God every day for peace and for prosperity and for protection of all citizens. So these two youth ministries in Middle Road and in industry, they're a great example about how to use social media for information and encouragement, which is inspiration.
No, I just like to say, endorse that, and also I continuously being invited to the Prophet Joel Ministry, Life Ministry, and last night I was there listening to some of the talks that they had to international pastors from Africa. It was very enlightening and very good to see that what this Prophet Joel is doing for the community, right in Princess Street there, bringing persons from all parts of Guyana. You have also churches in various parts of Guyana. So Prophet Joel and his congregation, his church, I happy that I was there, and also happy to participate in any other activity to give you the support, and any other church that say religious organization, Muslim, Christian, Indian communities who want me to be a part of any service, they could contact me. And so I will be there to show that unity. And that we need, I believe, the only way we could have a disciplined society is if we have more persons and people going to church.
Yes.
You have to fear God first. And then you will subject yourself to...
What do you mean to say? What do you mean to say?
As he finishes what he says, keep going, sir.
Okay.
You encouraged everyone in this society to do what?
Go to church, go to worship, whatever religion you're from. It will teach you to be a better person, to be disciplined to your country and add to the development of the country. So, as my party, Just for All Party, we promote religion, and our position is that if we were in office, we would donate monies to the churches because it will help us as a government to have an orderly society. And so it will keep persons out of the prison. You know, it costs presently about 400,000 Guyana to keep every prisoner in that there for a year. 400.
Okay. Rahman, you gotta put your numbers.
My response is amen.
Yeah. Rahman.
I want to take up the point.
Short.
The point that Malcolm made about organic food.
Yeah.
Because we have to have a holistic approach to life, isn't it? If you eat well, if you eat good food, it means that you have a guarantee to be having a healthy life. So agriculture is the key to the development of this country. Everybody here have said that. But we need to have people in the Ministry of Agriculture who knows and who are dedicated to the policies and program of this government. If you look at the manifesto, our manifesto, this government's manifesto, you will see on the pages that has to do with agriculture, if we were to implement those things, then we will have a country where nobody will go to sleep without food.
Okay.
Because we got millions of acres of land lying there, has never been touched by human hands. And we need to be able to get our hands onto those lands, get people to work on them, and the unemployed. We have to think, Mr. Sharma, very, very carefully about how do we employ gainfully those thousands of young people that are coming out from schools, college and university.
National service, reintroduce national service.
It is a big issue, and it's tied up with juvenile delinquency, crime, and all these kind of things that we have now faced with. We are in a crisis situation.
National service.
We are in a crisis, and we have to.
Half an hour.
We have to find a way in which we can resolve these social problems that we are faced with now. This is a big question that got to be discussed and debated by the entire population. There are people who are really, they really have answers to these questions, and we need to go into the communities, talk to them, and discuss with them.
Well, touching on what Brother Mark just said, even and coming up on the whole aspect of spirituality, and a different slant. Prisoners to get sex visits. Hear what? Jamaican prisoners are to be allowed conjugal visits, which means they will be allowed to spend time in private with a visitor, usually their legal spouse, and engage in sexual activity. National Security Minister Robert Montague said, "We must begin to humanize people in prisons." The Tower Street Adult Correctional Center is in downtown Kingston. A lot of us talk about we are Christians. But true Christianity is when you do for the least amongst us, the minister said. Human rights group Jamaicans for Justice has come out in supporting the plan to allow prisoners conjugal visits. Spokesperson for JFI, Susan Goff, argued that measures to facilitate reintegration of inmates in society are important, since most prisoners will eventually be released. Joff said that if inmates leave prisons with stronger family relationships, they will be less likely to reoffend.
And what do you think of that?
First of all, you shouldn't even get into prison. First of all.
Well, I didn't say you should go to prison.
What I think has to happen is prison reform, indeed, in the most basic sense.
But in regard to this,
Mark, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think
what I still do with Donald Trump? What do you all this gay sound? They want to send over the gays them.
Well, here.
What are you going to do with them?
Here's the thing. You just dropped the Trump bomb on Voice of the People.
Yes.
And when you drop the Trump bomb, it just flies all over humanity. Because here you have a gentleman that was not trained in any type of political protocol or political culture. So you have a businessman here who has repealed 39 laws that is saving a lot of money for the American taxpayer. He's appointed a Chief Justice to the Supreme Court that values life, the sanctity of life, which the Hindu, Muslim, and certainly the Christian community values. Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we value life. So what do you do with Mr. Trump?
Yes.
He is a frog in a boiling kettle, because if you've ever heard that, the frog in the kettle, it's boiling. The press doesn't like him.
He's trying to come out.
And he just fired his chief of staff.
Well, some people have to go, Leon.
You're fired.
You're
so
gone.
What Trump has done, he's turned the American political system into apprentice reality TV show.
Well, I wouldn't credit him that much. I mean, that's a big credit you gave him. But remember, what was the premise of his election? Here you've talked about Mr. Granger and some of the things that he and the party were going, once in office, we'll do this. Mr. Trump said, we're going to drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp. Drain the swamp of these political kickbacks that Washington bureaucrats, and Malcolm mentioned that very strongly, are associated to getting kickbacks for. See, public service isn't about doing favors. Public service is about serving the people, and it's about discharging the duties. It's not necessarily about even making policy while you're in office. It's doing the duties, and maybe by doing the duties, that becomes the policy of office. So what do I think? I think we're living in the most interesting time in human history, and it's the most interesting ongoing television program to see what happens next in the American White House.
What is your view?
And here's a man who loves Donald Trump.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I love that.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Call on here. Hello?
I like to shake up.
Yes.
I just wanted to indicate that I am very impressed by the subjects that we've been discussing.
Yes.
However, there must be some kind of practicality that we can address all this, academic as well as business and political stuff that is available presently on these shows.
Yes.
Can well be converted into productive entities where those who have something to contribute, whether it's political, whether it's academic, whether it's experience, whether they are prepared to invest in the potential of various projects in the same, concept of the cooperative situation where that is appropriate. The thing about it is that the discussion and the academic, kind of, what shall we call it, conversationalism has never really produced anything, and you have so much going on there that, I'm saying that you could very easily put together a group of Guyanese who probably have something to contribute, money-wise, academic-wise, experience-wise. Instead of, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, I'm saying that we could utilize it. Perhaps even Mr. Chairman might be able to put together a group from people who are willing to use their experience and knowledge in the interest of the nation and not politicizing every single move that we make in this society.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, that is what I'm promoting. That is what I'm promoting.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm calling. I went to the housing ministry early this year.
Yes.
And I'm a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I have a wife and a child.
Yes.
But the minister back then told me that why a young man like me is looking for a house. That's Minister Keith Scott.
What?
Keith Scott.
Yes. Minister
What he said?
When he was in housing there,
he
told me why a young man like me is looking for a house.
Yeah, and you got 3 children.
That was the question he asked me.
Why not him?
I explained to him that I'm an orphan. And I'm renting for $45,000 a month.
Yes.
And that was his response to me.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad if he told you that.
That's not good response.
Well, that's why he was moved from that portfolio, I would imagine.
Okay.
He's not doing better than the other one, too.
Well, he can.
Japa, what is your review?
No, well, I think that went wrong. That interview went totally wrong. So it sent the wrong impression about the government, and so I apologize. And so you could come to me. Let me make your case. Let me be your voice and represent your matter.
Okay, how can I get to you?
The Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Call you in here. Hello?
Jai.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Yes. This is for Jai Paul.
You got to speak more louder. I can hear you, right?
I want after this part.
Yes.
I want the government to start sending some second letter.
What?
I said after the inquiry finished. I want the government to start to form some second letter to some senior officers that is there. Some senior officers need to get out of the police force from active police duty and place in some ministry. I want to see that happen. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a good recommendation, and it's up to the COI and His Excellency how they will deal with these matters.
I was busy, why I couldn't get to come on that program.
Yes.
Doing my engineering work.
Yes.
And then Thursday I have to do some work up to 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Preparing some documents.
Make up.
It's very clear.
Yes.
What took place there, that you please.
Yeah.
It is really a slap to the presidency and the minister. There was no proper security in terms of intelligence under the Burnham administration. We had a CID, which is, I can call it like now, Fraser, was the out intelligent man around the place. You had Doggy from the special force.
Yes.
And you had two from the special force.
Yes.
They in plain clothes.
Yes.
Weapon and the guardian was intelligence. Now you don't mix seasoned criminals who kill people in that cell. They have been locked up at Kimeri.
Yes.
Especially those who
Yes.
serve in the military
Yes.
and get bad.
Yes.
The police and the soldiers.
Yes.
They can influence the whole team
Yes.
in that proper place and because
Yes.
they are commandos, you know. You don't put them together.
I'm a live program here now.
The
Hello?
question is this.
Yes.
That thing started 2 o'clock.
Yes.
And when it gets out the hand with the
Yes.
police service, they call for the police in KSU at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Then they call for the army, the force. And then I got a call with you. So what I could have done is to tell vigilance, lock down, roadblock here, and lock them down from getting in.
Okay then. Thank you.
And these things.
Okay.
But it was bad again at the chance to dog a hole.
Okay.
Means that you didn't stop it. Security. The Signal cell.
Okay.
It's only for offenders.
Okay then.
And 12 months. It's not for civil criminals.
Okay then. Thank you very much.
So what we going to do?
Yes.
I told the staff, the president, is to be put some big containers at Camp Street there.
Okay then.
And put checks and put some oil and storage it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right in there.
Okay then. Thank you very much. Thank you. Call in here. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
Ali, I need to go to court.
Yes. Jaipal? Somebody.
No, let's go to the callers. We didn't have
Call
time
in.
to
Hello?
be part
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon, yes.
Mr. Sharma, I would like to let you know
Yes.
that all ministers are public servants.
All them the servant, that's right. Some for the nation.
Yeah, and if I go to them on an issue and they are not a servant, they're supposed to advise me.
Yes.
Mr. Joe Harmon is a right hand to Mr. Granger, and he's letting the man down. People are telling them talking about it now.
Yes.
So Mr. Granger must understand who he got to wrong him. Mr. Harmon don't treat people right. If you call him and you see the number, he cut you off.
That's not, I don't believe that.
He does it to me plenty of times.
Harmon's a very nice man.
He's nice man?
Yes.
He come in the community and go to dinner near where the people that talk
I go to the area, I go to the area and so I go check in the places and all.
But if people go to any ministers and they are not responsible, they should advise people where to go.
Okay.
And I see Jaipal is doing it.
Okay.
But Jaipal can't meet all the guys, these people.
That's right.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Call you in here, hello? Good afternoon.
I believe the investigation with the
Yes.
police.
Yeah. Yes.
I think people must, the president must get more better.
Okay.
And because it is could be that the police is not interfered and a lot of investigation.
Okay.
Because if you look at a lot of investigation goes on with the police and people, police cover up a lot of people that we know and friends with. And it's a bad thing. We can never trust the police force.
Okay.
If you see somebody that you know, and you go report to the police, you better say them that the police tell them exactly who can.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not right.
Okay.
You can't trust the police force.
Yes, if you get a member of the public. Yes.
Okay. I look at it every day. There's a lot of corruption from the
Thank you very much.
police force, right down to somebody that look believing that people trust in them. You can't trust the police force like this because it's corrupt and it's competent. Where you must go if you have a criminal investigation. When the police is more corrupt more than the people who pay them. It's not fair. I mean, it's more in the place than the man. And if you look at it very well, you got to get an international investigation to investigate the police. You can't get police to investigate the police.
That's right. Thank you very much. This is a review member of the public. This is a review member of the public, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We're dealing with this foreign exchange.
Man, you can't do like you're talking more than one time. You can't talk so many times. Call in here. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from where you're born and grew up, Clinton.
Yes. I born over there. That's right.
I want you and Jaipal Sharma to come in at Clinton with your cameraman.
What? What is the problem?
I want you to come and see for yourself.
Yes.
How our place is green and nice. And the road is very nice. I want to bring the cameraman and you come and you can put them up on the TV.
Okay.
Right? The other thing I want to tell you about the aisle.
Yes.
Now you said you are going to get electric or rain for you get there.
No, next week.
Okay, let me put them so.
Yes, yes.
Now when you start getting say what will happen with Georgetown. You know what will happen? Georgetown for meeting in the sea. Because they undermine Georgetown, whole of Georgetown will meet into where they come from.
Okay.
Because it's a big swamp at the bottom.
Okay.
And you will find it as soon as you start. All the buildings so far along, like what is happening or people or see where it's happening.
That's true. That could happen true. That could happen true. That's true.
So thank you, sir. But tell me when you will come, because we want to know when you come.
I'm coming.
Because Sydney are the outer reach for you.
Yes.
You know Sydney?
I know Sydney, yes,
yes.
Yes. We can reach up, yes. I'm coming out and then something. Yes, I'm coming here.
Which day you got to tell me when?
I can't say exact when, buddy. I can't say exact when.
Right?
Yeah, anything next week.
I will thank you.
Yeah.
Hello? You're born in Huntington,
Hello? Good afternoon.
Huntington
You know, I will come and see what the people is doing.
Tell me what they're doing.
The whole call was up to today, I never come. Mr. Jaipal 3 times been on the station.
Yes.
Tell him. The GWI them run the pipe over the road.
Yes.
And them all the thing was in front of the Kabelo. You know the Arabian rainfall. You know around the water take to come out. People are in.
I sure I'll be here next week. Someday next week. I can be there myself.
Sunday next week.
Sunday next week, yeah, next week, Sunday.
Okay, now next thing.
Yes.
See that you're looking what happening?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. When you're taking on people on the prison place,
yes.
You don't take on people with a jail man family for rock.
Yes.
Work in prison.
Yes.
I'm telling you this.
Go ahead, tell me what it is.
People.
Yes.
I'm carrying this thing.
Yes.
And give them people this.
Yes.
The second night, there's gone.
Yes.
And all the drugs and all the things. And telephone. And here is the next one. You see the policeman them?
Yes.
Maybe very few. Actually, I can't see that.
Yeah.
Concerning the president.
Yes.
Now I can't see that because he's the one who get the information and demand. And then the other one, but he might pay and calculate. He might pay he for target.
Yeah.
All of them get them up back there and lock them up.
Okay then. Thank you. We have 20 minutes more to go on the air. Call it. Hello?
Hi, Ian.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Malcolm the Freighter.
Yes.
This is a nice issue about our nation being
yes.
dependent on agriculture.
Yes, that's true.
I got some good news for everybody.
Yes.
I heard that an organization that was in existence when Mr. Burnham was in power.
Yes.
And closed down when the PPP came to power.
Yes.
That this organization is being reformed.
Yes.
It is a national farmers organization.
Yes.
Which is being reformed.
Yes.
Now, what I heard is that when you know what has been going on here and what has not been done, and what needs to be done now, I feel that these organizations that have history, and have gumption, and have ideas, that it would be well for the country at this stage to encourage this not a new, but something that is being dusted off and coming back with figure. So I want, if what I heard is correct, and I feel I got the right information, the National Farmers Organization will be back in action.
Yes.
This time, because we have a sympathetic government that is interested in moving the country forward.
Yes.
I feel that with individuals like your son there, we can get this movement back on foot and give the people in agriculture a chance to survive and prosper.
Yes.
And then bring new people into the farm so we can really contain the unemployment and bring our young people into agriculture.
Yes.
Now we will have views on transitioning sugar.
Yes.
Bring all the sugar lands back into producing food. We can't look at guy soup. Guy soup is a waste of time.
Yes.
So we just want the public to know through you that what I have heard is true.
Yes.
We will really have a significant approach
to
the development of agriculture in this country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Guyan, hello? Hello? Hello, Guyan, hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Sharma, one problem I observe on the radio station
Yes.
is that the police say they will keep whoever calling and talk about the personal safe.
Yes.
Last night I listened to News 3 channel, did not say who exposed the prisoner in the latrine in Kitty.
Yes.
But Mr. Jack, the old channel 28
Yes.
say that the man, child mother, see and call the police. Why they doing that? You know why they're doing that?
Yes.
Because they don't want people
Yes.
to call it,
Okay.
talk when they see these prisoners.
Okay.
But we Guyanese gotta think.
Okay.
You understand
Yeah.
me?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
You don't know.
Yes.
You know, say, we can't call him because they can call his name.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, that is your view, but how I'm seeing it as a minister is that the call from the Ghana Police Force and including the Minister of Public Security is that relatives, and in this case I must commend if indeed it was the mistress, the wife of this individual.
Hold the line for me. Hold the line. Hold the line for me,
she called the
please.
police at the
Yes.
at the time
Yes.
because what happened if you harbor a escapee, you could serve time in prison, and you recently heard a person got 3 years for doing that. You don't want to be doing that. They already messed their life up. Don't let them come and mess your life up. Maybe you're doing it good for them because if they should have a confrontation with the police, they may not be alive. So you're doing the right thing. And I believe the message from the Ghana Police Force and the Minister of Public Security was well received and is being put in train.
Okay. Calling in here. Hello?
A pleasant and a blessed good afternoon.
Yes,
to
good
you,
afternoon.
Honorable Minister.
Yes.
CN and your panel.
Yes.
I have a little story to tell you.
Yes.
That will engross the minds of the public.
Yes.
Now, Jane applied for a house lot in 1997.
Oh, yes.
For 19 years, she ran as Ministry of Housing. She subsequently is visually impaired and also an amputee.
Okay.
She then got a house lot after 19 years
Okay.
with this regime, thanks to them.
Okay.
At the time, had she gotten it like 10 years ago, she would have been able to build a home.
That's right. That's true.
Now, the minors that she would have had then became an adult.
Okay.
So she saw the assistance of Food for the Poor.
Yes.
Because of her condition, she cannot
Yes,
work.
yes.
Food for the Poor visited where she is living.
Okay. Excellent.
A representative from Project and saw where she was living. She subsequently got a reply from Food for the Poor stating they do not give single people a house. They have to have a minor.
Yes.
Now what will happen to her? The conditions where she's living right now is atrocious.
Okay.
And also, she cannot work anywhere, and it is left like that. What should she do? Where at 60 odd years will she have a minor? Could she get a television? He said, I don't worry about that. I don't know what
Rahman, you want to respond to that?
What the president is doing is unique.
Yeah.
Because he's not rushing to say lock the man up and charge him. He's saying let us have an open investigation about the matter, even though it concerns me and my own safety. Let us get the truth about this matter. The man who's made the allegation went on television and he made a public declaration that somebody attempt to pay him to kill the president. The president is saying, look, I know my safety is at stake, and rather than putting a host of the police around me to every place I go, let's investigate this matter. Go down to the root of it. What is coming out of this is that it exposes the total incompetence of the police force at the highest level. That is what has happened. And it's not that we didn't know that. The public knows that the police, the top of the police force, run by the last government, including Jagdeo, has been corrupted, compromised, corrupted, incompetent, and all the things. People have called on this program over and over again, Mr. Sharma, over the last 25 years, telling you about their own experience with the elements within the police force. We just had a woman who said she had to give sex to a policeman to get her husband released. Yeah. Now, all these things cannot go on. We can't say that we can't act on it. I stressed over and over, Mr. Sharma, on this program, on the question of law and order. This president came into power because of law and order, because people have trust in him as a former army head, that he is disciplined enough to bring about law and order, which we didn't have. We had a lawless society headed by Jagdeo. Let it be said, by Jagdeo, a lawless, immoral society. Now we are bringing back law and order in this country, headed by a man who has the integrity, and the necessary qualification behind his name and the experience to establish a stable society. You will know from your experience in your country that you cannot invite investors to come into a country if you don't have law and order, if you don't have peace and you don't have harmony. Anybody will tell you that. The thousands of Guyanese who want to come back here are watching. They are watching, and they are guided by what kind of government, how this government is bringing back law and order. It has to be a systematic approach, but a steady approach.
And also how the government is treating migrants.
Well, it would almost be to ask him this question. So if they're watching, what do they see?
They are mortally afraid. People, if you go on Facebook and see people are, Guyanese by the thousands, have a very good what you may call view of the development of this country. They have confidence. They have confidence in the presidency. But what we need to do is that the presidency needs to actually get rid of a lot of rotten people around him. These civil servants.
Guyan here. Hello.
Hi. Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Good day.
Good day, everyone.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
I back that person just now 100%.
Yes.
Of Mr. Jagdeo. I wouldn't call it any knowledge about him. I'm speaking about his ignorance. That he did so much in this country towards us, disrespect every human being. And he's coming on public television and saying he sees no reason for the investigation of the of the
attempt assassination.
The
assassination plot.
Assassination of the president of this republic.
Okay.
Mr. Jagdeo send people to jail, or the police officers send people to jail for less of what is taking place at the moment. Yeah. A man showed his middle finger and he was jailed.
A youth, not even a man, a young person.
A young person.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Benchcock didn't even do nothing to cause any harm to Mr. Jagdeo or to our country. Okay. And he was jailed and prosecuted so terrible that don't say his food wasn't worthwhile for him to eat at the prison. At one time.
The Monroes and the Wharton.
Okay.
She's crying.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah. Mr. Jagdeo need to go behind the bars for the things he has done to our country. Disrespect. I think this government needs to look into it.
Yes.
It's too much for us.
Okay.
As human beings. Yeah. Disrespect for the police officers towards the women of this country.
Yes.
Single parents. You know, they have no regards, no respect. If they look down into more and they go down more deeply into these officers, they will find so much that these people had abused so many citizens of this country. Jail every one of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with that. You know, the law is very clear.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Minister.
Yes.
All right. In relation to this COI that they're holding on, it's right. It's perfect. But, you know, what I want, these officers who trying to cover up, and they're exposed now in this COI. Whether you take instruction, once you know it's wrong, you should be transferred. Just like one of the same officer in the CI, he was actually had to force by Mr. Slow to actually name the commissioner, because all he's saying is he got instructions.
Instruction, that's right.
He want to cover up, but you know why he want to cover up, sir?
Why?
When Henry Green was commissioner of police, he was reported to uniform and sent to Borbies because of corruption and what he did. Check his record. The King Street, when the boy was just bracing and go with a bicycle by Crescent Cycle Store.
Yeah.
He's the one who shoot and kill that boy.
Oh.
He's the one who said somebody was invading his premises on Lamar Street, where he got a taxi service.
How you know all of that?
I live close by, so I know this individual.
Okay.
And the individual was shot, then put in his car and said, well, he shoot the boy was shot at the pump station. He got a history. And you know, he is the same individual now. The woman in Bobby says accusing that he cuffed she up, he beat she up, and so when the bandit, they escaped, she was the one who been cooking food and so forth. Whether the woman cooking, whether she did that or not, no police ain't got no right to beat nobody if it's true.
That's true.
And I know the individual, and I know what would have happened. He is the one who was trying to cover up and not name the commissioner of police.
Okay.
Right? Because after Henry Green died, and the other commissioner of police, I think he is some minister now, came off, and this commissioner came on. This commissioner put all the boys in major crime units. And all of them are the ones who doing the nonsense.
Okay.
Right? And my position is that no police ain't got no right beating nobody. No
True.
police ain't got no right.
True.
Lying and trying to cover up. There's the president of Guyana.
Yeah.
That man is the president of Guyana. Whether the allegation is true or false, it's an allegation against the president of the Republic of Guyana.
That investigate.
And that should have been taken seriously.
Yes.
Whether Mr. Granger life was
In danger.
Or not.
Yes.
It's a serious allegation.
Serious allegation,
Very
right? Serious
kill
allegation.
me.
Yes.
This is the president.
Yeah.
And we ought to take it seriously, and all those who cover up. Look, I went, you know, for less than that, they hold me overnight.
Okay.
For less allegation than that, the police would hold you for nothing.
Okay.
And put you on a bail.
Yeah.
This is a man who the commissioners have put the man on the own recognizance and put the other two, because the other two being argued, and that's the brother and the other guy.
Yeah.
On 15,000 or 25,000.
Okay.
He should have been in one of the lockups setting out. Still, they really investigated. And that should have taken precedence and priority over every other investigation. Come on, it's the president we're talking.
Yes.
Whether we like him or not.
But after that, what was said there, that instruction was given when he was on leave.
Exactly. And that is most important. And Mr. Ramdarine keeping the backbone now. Right? That was given when he was on leave. When you're on leave, buddy, go along and enjoy your leave.
He was directing the show.
They got so much of John public out there now that people don't really want to talk because people are scared up to now of the police. But you know, they got the nightclub in Alberton there. they know when they're shooting up, and we used to go and video who used to be in the nightclub. That's why the woman who was in charge of Alberton Police Station was removed, because she went to close the nightclub, and his instruction don't close it. So he put she from the court upstairs at the High Court. Moved she out. Since then, Look, less than a year, the Alberton changed over 10 or 15 officers, because every time you put an officer, there's a big division. Every time you put an officer there, you last in 2-3 months, he doing stubbornness.
Why?
Well, that's the commissioner of police to answer why he moved Miss Denise Griffith.
Okay.
And everybody know why. Everybody in the area know why. Because the nightclub that had shooting up, you know, the one in Alberton, Queenstown area there.
Okay.
Everybody know who this frequent is. So that's why I saw a couple more, you know, because of the ignorance. How could a our police commissioner get involved in a matter we investigate under the president and lose for the man on thing, and then he, you know, I listened to him on the press one thing. We said people could be charged for giving the police false information. You can even
this is some allegation, you know. Because it's an allegation now, right?
It's an allegation.
Allegation,
the
that's
man
right, yes.
who made the allegation.
Yes.
He was saying the man could be charged. You didn't even properly investigating the matter, intimidating me. Then. If I was the one who actually went and make that allegation, you say that you're actually intimidating me. And that's how the problem was.
Carla, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's enough. Call you in here. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yes. Yes.
I heard Mr. Judge saying that when he was president,
yes,
that you don't, you ignore some of the things that, I put it in my own words, that you ignore some of the things that people say, because people would say things because the facts are annoying.
Yes.
So when the woman called your station and make this
allegation about me, yes. Yes.
And then when he had
the old woman.
Old woman.
Pardon me?
It's a very senior citizen.
When he had the
old
meeting
woman.
at Kitty,
yeah.
He turned and he said that you and your wife went to him and
cry,
yes,
crying
yes,
and crowd laughing.
yes.
The last laugh is the best laugh. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, that allegation that a caller called and say they want to do harm to the president. Then this woman couldn't possibly be a threat to the president.
That's how the whole line for the police.
And so when they identified the woman, was a very old woman.
Yeah.
This is not a case where the allegation was money was being passed, there's a high power weapon being in the equation, and the connection of senior officials. So that was a totally different situation. But what the caller is saying, drawing a comparison between how then President Barajaglio dealt with a caller that called in on a live program as against a sitting president, our president, father of the nation presently, David Arthur Granger, person was planning to assassinate him in a plot. And so it's two different scenarios altogether.
Call you near.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yes.
And happy emancipation advance to the Ghana.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
Mr. Sharma, it's a very good Saturday to you and your family
yes.
and everybody on the
platform. Thank you.
Mr. Sharma, it's a very, very serious situation in this country.
Yes.
As the way Guyanese think.
Yes.
Now, allegation about somebody is very, very, very serious because if I am a sergeant of a police force,
yes,
and a person telling me that they're going to kill me and my family, as a sergeant, I will take it serious.
That's right.
Much as if it's the president of a country.
That's right.
According to what the woman said just now, it's the same thing. A mother showed that each finger, and seconds after you went in Camp Street.
Yes.
Just your finger, man, show. Man didn't tell you nothing. Mr. Sharma, you and just about to send us again, a woman just calling and say something.
Calling, so yes.
Right? And they closed you down.
Yeah, closed me now, 6 months.
So, my point to get into, you know, Guyan mindset is very, very low because the attitude and the mindset is very, very poor. Kind of, Mr. Hammond said, coming to the lawlessness, and again, the police force is all is abrupt, but them gain a lot of source from the people's government. So, of course, they will go against the people's government because they get a lot of money out of people and they got to talk about people.
Exactly.
So as it is now, you're going to find a lot of people are going to talk in half-hand because they want to protect themselves. But up to the sergeants in the police force, they got a lot of money out of people's government. They know all what the people do because they used to gain all the time. So as it is now what Mr. Pastor is doing there, it's a very good job, but you listen to me carefully. It is like what you want for 2 more months.
Yes.
The more critics with him, Mr. Shah. Okay. You're surprised to know that the kind of people who is in control of our lives.
That's true.
Yes. That's what I'm saying to you. Okay.
Yeah.
But however, again, happy emancipation again, and one guy needs to understand that this country is ours. It's not Mr. Sharma or Mr. Jack, Mr. John or Guyana is Guyanese country.
That's right.
But we got to live here and enjoy our country.
Thank you very much.
Jamaica or Barbados to live. We're supposed to live right here and enjoy our country. If we plant a boar or a buck toy or a pumpkin, we're supposed to enjoy it. If that goal, then we're supposed to enjoy it. Somebody's supposed to come here and enjoy our country. Our children supposed to enjoy it. So thank you very much, Mr. Sharma, and have a blessed day.
There are two other commission of inquiries need to be set up, Mr. Sharma. One for when the police they shoot James Bond and all them in the back in 2011. All right, go right ahead. And one for Roger Khan.
Okay. Words are important.
Call it, hello?
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Oh, that person who talk about the inquiry?
Yes.
The person, right. Listen to me. I was in the army.
Yes.
And if I'm on leave,
yes,
the person who is in charge after me carries out my authority.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with the police force.
Yes.
So Balram or whatever he name.
Yes.
He in it too. He just call it names like that. And they got to think about it. They got to make a real shuffle in the police force because some police in there need to do the work good, but the footprint of the PPP is still in there.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, it's not Balram.
This is the member public.
However, what the call is saying is well intended. And so we listen carefully. As a Minister of Government listening to the people, I commend you for your support for the COI. And as you said, if we have more time, and which we don't, this COI will have to close out shortly, but we get the information. Okay. So the Commissioner of Police, I understand, will be appearing on Monday, so I guess all will be glued to the television and to the newscast to hear exactly what he will have to say about this. So if you're on leave, you're on leave.
Okay.
And so it must be said that that's the situation. The police force is very regimental. So when a senior officer, once he's senior than you, and he says to stand down, that's the main word, stand down. So I'm thinking, the people is thinking, was anybody told to stand down on July 9th, 2017, when that situation was being transpired? And that's a COI that we have to await when we capture those remaining escapees. But we must congratulate, nevertheless, the police force for doing a wonderful job. I must congratulate the police force and the present crime chief for the amount of a case that he solved. I'm disappointed at what I heard that transpired in the COI.
This is a view member of the public. This is a view member of the public, right? It's not our view. This is a view of the member of the public. I just want the people to know that.
You let the people speak.
Let
the people speak. The Kaicher News today reported that the former president said, Mr. Rahman, what was the headline? That the COI investigation...
It's a waste of money.
That was a waste of money. So that's his opinion.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it's the right opinion.
That's right.
Or it's the right course. Where do words come from? Words come from thoughts, and thoughts are being spoken out. Some are good, and some are bad. That headline right there, whether he said it or didn't, the fact is, if he did, that's wrong. That's wrong. Never should a country or a people of various cultures ever speak threatening language to elected public officials. This is a serious thing. A former president.
That's right.
I don't think he would talk that way if he would have been threatened. He shouldn't be saying that for the current president.
Well, the point is, the point about this is that previous callers have clearly stated the kind of action, the way he behaved towards citizens of this country. And
so if that's true...
And especially to Mr. Sharma.
That is true.
Who represents the voice of the people in this country.
Read the headline.
To express himself.
If he did that to you, if he did that to other people, a former president of this country, the headline says what?
The headline says that he's saying that the inquiry into the investigation of attempt assassination of the president is the money that is a waste of time.
I don't think that's a waste of time to have an ongoing inquiry in regard to criminality toward the leader of this republic.
You see, let me say something, Mr. Sharma, on this whole question of democracy. Democracy,
make a point.
Democracy is about allowing transparency and fair play, which was not allowed under the PPP. Wasn't allowed under the PPP.
It's a new day.
And so therefore, what we are doing is developing a new form of democracy at the highest level, which exists in other countries.
Yes.
Your closing remarks.
Well, my closing remarks are that we still have to be seeking unity in this country for development purposes. Get a copy of my Unite newspaper. You can get it on www.weekendpostgy.com and get all the latest news on Guyana. More than that, emancipation. We all have got to emancipate ourselves, not from mental slavery, but also from spiritual slavery and economic deprivation. And I want to say that to all Guyanese, emancipation is for all of us, and it's an ongoing process, and the only way we can enjoy the fullness of emancipation is to love each other. Ja.
Your pleasure, Mr. Rahman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, let us continue through this program to enlighten people. Had it not been for this program, we would not be allowing other people who have something to say.
That's right.
And today's program, I would say, was a very good program where a lot of people who has a lot of vital information, a lot of vital information that are outside there that needs the whole of the country to know about it. So let us continue this work.
Mark, your closing remarks.
I appreciate what Minister Jai Paul said today. And I quote him. And he's sitting right next to me. Go to church. I invite you to church tomorrow as others will be gathering. I'll be speaking at the Annandale Assembly of God Church in lovely Annandale, Guyana. Why don't you come out at 10:30 in the morning. Peace and love be with you as we gather in the name of the Lord.
Minister, your closing remarks, please.
Just to say happy emancipation, and it's the 179th anniversary which we'll be celebrating. And emancipate your mind. Think big. Think about the future of Guyana. Remain home here, and you must. There will be hard times, but struggle a little longer with us as a government, so we could enjoy the good life.
Did you hear what your son said?
Yes.
There's hard times. Is that true?
Okay.
That's why I like what Robert Schuller said. Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Mark, thank you for coming. Rahman, thank you for coming. Raza, thank you for coming. Minister, thank you.
One love, unite.
Have a nice God bless you. Thank you.